So we spend a lot of time on tools within everything DiSC suite of products. And in fact, it's a daily within our, it touches all aspects of what we do. So when you're thinking about everything DiSC in practice, from your vantage point, how can teams in any industry integrate the use of DiSC after initial training? We have our own views on that, but we'd welcome
Yeah.
expert opinion from your vantage point as well.
Yeah. And I think a lot, I imagine you guys have come up with some really clever ways, some of which I probably haven't even thought of or heard of. And people can be very entrepreneurial about this. And so I'll just share some of the things that
Please.
I always, and so there's this classic going back decades, long, actually before, and I've been here for 21 years. And so before I even got here is this exercise where you would just have a little card you'd fill out, and it would ask you, hey, I have an S style. Here's 3 things to know about my S style. And my wife has a CD style, very CD, like edge of the circle CD. And it's like she would put on her card something like, I need evidence if you're going to convince me. And so it's a great it's a great conversation starter, but it makes those conversations safe. And so if I was to just say to you, like, well, you're kind of assertive, right? Like, without the conversation, without the DiSC context, like, well, what do you mean by that? And it's like, no, after we've had that conversation, it's okay. And so those type of reminders can be really valuable. There's a fantastic tool that I really love in the Catalyst platform called Conversation Starters. And so what you can do in here is you can choose, there's 3 different topics. Let's say you've got a team of 8 people and you want to just get to know each other, or you want to talk about how we make decisions as a team. And so you create a group, and the leader, and it doesn't actually need to be the leader of the group, it could just be the leader of the conversation. It will show you a couple of continua. And so it might be the continua from, hey, here's strong-willed to accommodating, and here's where people tend to fall on that, and here's some discussion questions to have. And it's light and it's fun. Like, there's something about those continua that people just brings people out, and they feel like they can make observations, and it opens up the conversation. And so that's probably one of my favorite tools. And then one final thing that I'll mention is a project that I've been working on for the last year are these modules called what we call Work Smart, and they're on 5 different topics that are really applied. And so they're on topics like, after you've gone through the DiSC training, how can you help managers get better at giving feedback, or helping their people navigate change, or motivate their people? And so we chose some topics by surveying decision makers and organizations and managers and said, well, what do your managers really need? Like, what's most important? What are the skills that they're lacking? And we kind of found some like really targeted 1-hour sessions that are simple to do, as fun as doing that initial workshop, but kind of have a really concrete outcome attached to it.